Let's talk Funko Bros. Did you do all of your homework about the Funko Bros?
There was a lot. I have been looking at emails, at Twitter/X. I've been looking at all sorts of posts, DMs, everything. It's a lot. I don't feel prepared for this video, but we're gonna do it.
If that doesn't get anybody to watch, I don't know what will.
This whole Funko Bros thing is a mess, and I've heard like little chirps here and there for a long time about them, but it wasn't collectively enough for me to feel like it was appropriate to make a video on. Because as we know, and as we have spoken on this channel, Funko seems to have really screwed over small shops.
Big time.
Huge time. I mean, they would definitely favor the larger shops over the smaller mom and pop shops, which was a problem because the mom and pop shops are, in our opinion, what got them to be who they are today.
Absolutely, and a lot of our favorite shops have shut down or gone away. And then some of our not favorite shops have also shut down, gone away, but screwed people over along the way. But I want to know, because I did no homework. I have no idea. I don't know a thing about this story. I've only heard things here and there. Who are the Funko Bros?
More like the Funko hoes, because...
Allegedly.
No, they are definitely hoes and not the good kinds. They
Okay.
you in a bad way.
Is that possible? Oh, like that?
So basically, there are a ton of complaints that the Funko Bros are taking people's money and running. We have seen over the years Funko sort of messing with smaller shops. They would send, very often, your GameStops, Hot Topics, Walmarts, Amazon, the product that you pre-ordered from a small shop months prior to the small shop actually getting it.
Right, so people would then run out to all of the bigger box stores, buy all the stuff, and then cancel all their pre-orders.
Yes, and they would get
with the small shops.
Yeah, and those smaller shops typically would have like a policy in place to try to protect themselves from people doing stuff like that because Funko was just treating them so poorly. So a lot of the customers would get really upset when the small shops wouldn't refund them because their policy says, we will only give you X% if you cancel your order, or they wouldn't allow people to cancel at all, but Funko wouldn't ship them the product.
Right.
So it's like a lose-lose for everybody. It's not like the shops wanted to do that, but they had already placed their orders with Funko because they got so many pre-orders in from these people, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So it turned into a whole disaster.
So these little stores would buy all of this merchandise in order to sell it. The big box stores would beat them to the punch, leaving the little shops full a product they could not sell.
Yeah.
Because people have already purchased it already. So those little shops would then effectively go under very quickly. And sometimes they would scam the crap out of you and take your money with them.
That happened more often than not from what we have seen.
Allegedly, are we saying the Funko Bros are one of those businesses?
Allegedly, yes. It appears that that is what's happening, and it's really unfortunate because there aren't very many small shops out there.
Have they been around a long time?
I don't know how long they've been around. I didn't do my research on that part. I started hearing their name maybe like 2 years ago.
You know what? The only time I ever heard their name were people commenting, leaving us emails, messaging us, and letting us know about how horrible they are. Like, that was the way I found out about them.
I never heard their name because the big guys refused to promote them. And the big guys refused to promote them because in the past they had seen patterns. For example, Kraken's collectibles. Remember
yes,
them? Or collection or whatever?
Kraken's collectibles.
Yes. They would give fire deals when they first opened up, like way undercut.
Like ridiculous deals. Yeah, it was basically like a drug dealer giving like drugs away for free to get people to bite.
Yes.
And like to continue coming back.
Yeah, so a lot of people jumped ship from their like favorite retailers who they knew and loved and could trust, went over to Kraken's. Kraken treated them right for the first order or two and then screwed everybody over, took their money and ran.
Kraken's was one of them, and then also what was the
Big
New
Apple.
York Big Apple, yeah, collectibles. All this stuff is starting to come back because we're talking about the Funko Bros.
So basically, the big guys being your dish trackers, Funko Finders, Funko Pop's News, they wouldn't promote this guy because they saw it coming from a mile away.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
You're
and
talking about all the sources that service us on a regular basis.
Yes. And I don't like to call people out when it comes to things like that. However, I saw posts from all three of those sources on X talking about this particular situation. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So Funko Finders said, situations like this make it difficult to support smaller shops. They often begin with strong deals and great incentives, but they can end up falling short, whether from early mistakes or getting in over their heads. That's why I always advocate for a no charge until it ships policy with my Funko partners. That said, there are still a handful of good small shops out there.
Interesting. And they're saying that in response to Funko Bros.
The Funko Bros situation, yeah. Dish Trackers replying, they're making it harder for people to trust small businesses. Let's hope they change their mind and ship it out. And that was in reply to someone's post. It says, this is how Funko Bros treat customers. Have had an in-stock item since June of last year that still hasn't been sent. Now they have blocked me, but refuse to send my in-stock item.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. I mean,
and there's stores like this or shops like this that gave a lot of the little shops bad names. And
really are.
One shop that we were super fans of and loved, and it's a shop that always treated everybody right, never screwed anybody over, was Poppin' Off Toys. And Poppin' Off Toys is now on the way out, unfortunately. Hate to see it happen to them specifically because I love them so much. It's little shops like this that made people sort of swerve and say, I'm not going to go and buy from little shops anymore because they could be like this, right? Yeah. The Poppin' Off Toys of the world could be like a Funko Bros. Yeah. Allegedly.
By the way, Poppin' Off Toys, their physical location has shut down, but their website is still up until they sell the remainder of their stock.
Right. So you can go over to poppinofftoys.com right now and you can buy stuff. I think they have mystery boxes still up, I believe.
They were as of a day or so ago.
Okay, so they might have some up. And you're actually helping a family and a business if you buy from them. So check out poppinofftoys.com. No, they will not screw you like allegedly the Funko Bros.
Here's Funko Pop News chiming in. I remember my encounter with them. Several of their paid cronies got banned for sending me death threats.
Oh my God.
This was when they ran a competition to see who could get banned by me. I don't know what exactly that's in reference to.
That's a whole lot of drama going on there.
The original post had been taken down, but this sounds wild.
What has really happened with Funko Bros is what has happened with these other shops. They are not basically giving people the collectibles that they purchase. They're not sending them the collectibles they purchase.
Correct. So that is apparently a recurring thing, and blocking people as well.
Oh my God.
Here's someone right here on Twitter that says, I have 2 orders of 15 pops that they owe me from last year, got blocked after asking for them. Common Wave Pops, emailed 5 times and sent a DM, never got a response. He even gave me this speech about being reliable. This was when I thought he was legit. So apparently, this looks like it might be an Instagram message. Funko Bros in a DM says, I'm not reliable. I must have missed that one, but I'm not reliable. Tell me why Funko Finders sent me $600 to get him some trading cards from Five Below through Cash App where there's no protection. And that was just a couple months before we opened Funko Bros. I was reliable enough for you to send me $600 over Cash App. But even after all the call-outs, shout-outs, reviews, we are not reliable because we are new is what they are going to go with. Hilarious. So I don't know what this is in reference to. This is a lot of drama.
The only situation I remember being this dramatic was, remember the one guy that ended up on MTV?
Yes.
In the shop?
Yes. What was that? Pops?
Whatever, Fiasco or something like that.
Gosh, I forget what it was called.
But it was terrible.
That was crazy.
He has another iteration of his shop, by the way.
Yeah,
He's like on his 5th shop.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
So here's a very interesting situation. Someone tagged Funko Bros.
Okay.
Can a customer whose order is approaching its year anniversary get some help? Emailed on 7/27, messaged on Twitter 4 days ago, sent a text 1 day ago, no reply. I hate to be the person to call out publicly, but now I feel like I'm just being ignored. The Funko Bros replies, 1, this is not the way to go about it. They they text,
This is not the
they
way.
message you on Twitter.
They've exhausted all of their resources.
But this is not
This
the
is
way
not the way to go. Well, what are they supposed to do? Come over to your house and knock on the door?
Well, that wouldn't be the way to go about it either.
Well, I mean, what's the way to go? I mean,
I
explain.
know.
Like, instead of saying this isn't the way to go, why not explain what the way to go is?
Well, he's
right?
about to.
Is
Are
he
you
about
ready?
to? Okay,
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear. Let's hear.
2, you're free to mention all the details about your order that you like, including when it was placed. None of that changes the fact that if you haven't received your order, there is only one reason why, because we have not received the product that we ordered. That is false, because there are a lot of people in these posts saying that they ordered something that was in stock ages ago and it hasn't been shipped.
Interesting.
Asking when it'll be shipped.
What would even cause a business to even do this? Because if you're going to operate that way, how do you expect to, one, have a customer base that's constant and continuing? How can you expect to grow your business, make money, and to do bigger things if you're not even going to ship people the stuff that they deserve?
Yeah.
Like, so what this tells me, okay, so I got to get this off my chest.
Okay.
I think that a lot of what happens here with these small businesses, like this one, allegedly, like a bunch of other ones that we've talked about, allegedly, they are people who start off as Funko collectors thinking that they can become business people. And they're not business people. So they end up putting together a business. They cannot manage it properly. They don't understand the money and what comes in and goes out. They don't understand the shipping part of it becomes a big hassle. They get in over their head, as some other person mentioned. I think it was Dish or Funko Finders. They don't know what they're doing. So they're trying. So as an example, with you and I starting MISCHIEF Toys. We started MISCHIEF Toys, which is our own toy company. We do not resell anything. It's all of our own design stuff, okay? So it's we call it designer toy company or independent toy company. We were never business people. Now, you were. You had a business at one point in time, but it wasn't a business like this.
No.
But what we did was talk to the right people, do our homework, do our due diligence before we even jumped into the business side of things. Like, we didn't just dive in head first on most of this. We did a lot of research and we talked to a lot of the right people. I think a lot of these people sell their Funko Pops online or do their trading in groups, and then it eventually rolls, right? They're doing, what do they do? Those waffle things? Like, it rolls, whatnot. It rolls into them creating a business.
Yeah.
And then they're not good business people, and this is what happens. It just crashes and burns. They don't know what the they're doing.
No.
This is proof positive. Look, if you go back and look at all the companies we've ever talked about, it always goes back to people totally mishandling everything. And honest to God, I don't feel like, I would say not all of them. I'm sure there are some scammers out there. I think that most people get in over their heads. They don't know what they're doing. And then it looks like they're scamming people, but they just are like totally lost.
Yeah, well, add Funko not doing their job properly, and it's just absolute craziness for everybody.
Completely agree. I mean, Funko definitely has ownership in this.
Funko can't control how people react, and this guy's reaction is over the top.
100%, but that's a person who does not know how to run a business.
1000%.
That is a person who is not a business owner. They could never become like a CEO type. That just isn't who they are, and that's okay. That's okay. They should have never started this business.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Funko was at a hype. They were selling all sorts of product. It was the greatest thing ever. We were seeing Funko Pops coming in left and right from pretty much every single TV show, cartoon, movie that you could possibly think of. And everybody saw, they had money signs in their little eyes, like a cartoon. Mm-hmm. And they saw like, oh my God, I can make some money. And so then they go out, I'm going to call myself Funko Bros. By the way, calling yourself Funko Bros, that's a horrible move too, because they're using Funko's name in their name.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You're not supposed to. From every angle, these people are doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
All wrong. But so far, you haven't told me one single right thing they've done. But keep going.
Well, I'm about to get into the right thing, I guess. Their third bullet point is, for like the millionth time.
You sound like a teenage girl fighting with their parents.
For like the millionth time, stop tagging me on Twitter.
Is that what they said?
No. For like the millionth time, making posts like this is simply not It was all caps. The way. Social media platforms are not customer service channels. Support at FunkoBros.com is the only way. Which I
Totally
agree with.
that. Yeah.
Unless
you're being crappy.
Yep. Unless
you
not.
You gotta take it to social media. It's the equivalent of running out into the streets and yelling about the business not serving you well or not doing the right thing.
Right. He ends it with, in parentheses, there will be no further replies on this post.
Yeah, well, of course not. Well, he has to shut it down because, I don't think whoever that person is, I don't know if there's a he or she or what.
He.
But they
it's
don't.
It's the Funko Bros.
I guess, but I don't think that they even know how to deal their customer service sucks, obviously. If they're not shipping this stuff, they're not responding in the proper way. It's just so silly. All of it's so silly.
So another tweet that I saw was that when you go to their help, which is support at FunkoBros.com, it gets redirected to 2dudes at FunkoBros.com. If it's being redirected somewhere else, are you actually getting it to the right place? Like, how is that working? Is that why they're not answering their emails, or are they just too lazy to answer their emails?
Like I said, I think it's an in over their head sort of deal. They probably have so many emails to them about help or returns, or not even returns, but where's my order? They're probably buried in them. And how could they respond in a quick enough manner to they probably just cannot keep up with the amount of emails that are coming in. And we know from, again, going back to Mischief Toys, we run a business, we get help emails, but we try to knock them out as soon as we possibly can. And obviously, it's, I ordered a small shirt and I got a medium. That's typically the issues that we have. Or the box has a scratch on it, so I want a new box. Right, so those are our issues. It isn't, you didn't give me what I was, like, in other words, you didn't send me my Ghastly figure. Like, you never sent it to me, and where is it? And I've been emailing you like 5 or 6 times to figure out where it is. Yeah. We have never had an instance like that.
No, if there's ever an issue where there is something missed, there is something that is wrong, we take care of it within, I would say most of the time, 24 hours, if not at the very most 72 hours.
It's called
at the very most
business management. I don't know what this person's deal is. I don't know if they're doing it on their own and they're having a hard time and they don't know how to run a business. Like I can't. I'm not going to sit back and talk crap about them, so to speak. I mean, I guess I am. But if they have proven to me that they're able to do it, then I'd say, okay, look, they're really trying. It sounds like they got, kind of a good head on their shoulders. So far, you have not told me a single thing that makes me think they could do this.
Yeah.
In other words, that they could run a business.
Apparently, they locked down their posts so that people can't comment.
Yeah. Well, so basically, they're doing everything that they can to protect themselves. So they don't want people going around and saying things.
Then don't do things wrong.
My guess would be this video they're probably not going to be happy about it. I would imagine. Well, I'd imagine that we would get attacked. I don't know. Heather mentioned the other day that there was a comment posted. You had talked to somebody on Twitter or X or whatever it is, and somebody responded that Gastlecast is worse than Funko Bros. I still think about that every once in a while.
It's really funny because...
Well, no, I think about it every once in a while because I think to myself, like, in what reality are you living in to think that we're worse? I mean, okay, we could suck and you don't like us and you think we're stupid. Or we're not funny. You don't think we're funny ever. You don't think that we're informative. You think that what we talk about is stupid, right? So there's all these things. But that's all your... there's no facts there. That's opinion. The fact is, these guys aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're screwing people over actively. That's a fact. That's so far different. You can stop watching the channel, but if you ordered something from these guys and you didn't get your product or your money back, you're in a fight for your life to get your money back, right? Because some people spend hundreds of dollars to get some of this stuff on these websites.
I mean, that one guy, he said he had 2 orders of 15 pops each or something.
I wonder if they'll eventually change their name to a different company name. This happens all the time. They'll change their name, try to be somebody completely different, and then screw people over once again.
That's crazy.
Allegedly.
So, Funko Bros on August 1st posted Breaking Bad anyone? With a picture of, older Breaking Bad pops.
Cool.
And someone tweeted or replied, I ordered 2 Breaking Bad pops back in December. When are they going to ship? Someone in the comments said never, you got scammed.
Oh, come on. You know, and by the way, we know that there's an issue when we mention on the channel that we want to know more about Funko Bros or whomever we're talking about. We want more information, and could they tell us their stories? We got a handful of email. I mean, we got a ton.
Oh, we got a ton. This person sent emails that they sent to Funko Bros. They spent so much money. They sent us all these
like transactions.
Yeah, they this is crazy. Let me just read this to you. I cannot even wrap my head around this. This is the worst one. I'm going to go into a little bit more and then we'll end the video.
Okay, perfect. I like that.
My experience with Funko Bros started July of 2023. I found out about them on Twitter and I figured I'd give them a shot. My first purchase was the Fun on the Run Arizona Stop box. When I received this item, I thought, okay, they seem reputable.
Okay.
Good. That's an instance of them winning over a customer.
Cool.
So I purchased from them 3 more times. The next 3 orders I did were pre-orders. I ordered some Last Ronin sodas, 2 Last Ronin hardcover graphic novels, and a Demon Slayer bundle. I received the graphic novels and the sodas. The Demon Slayer bundle was slated for a November release originally. It then got pushed to a January release. Come February, there was no sign of the bundle yet. There was also no update about said bundle. I first reached out to them February 14th, 2024, asking for an update on said bundle. I sent this email to 2 dudes at FunkoBros.com.
So it's literally 2 dudes.
I guess so.
I mean, that's what I think the business has to be, right? 2 dudes?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
This was the email they had originally. Then on April 6, 2024, I reached out to them again, this time on their new email, support@funkobros.com, asking them a question about why my order said complete when I received no tracking or items.
Ooh.
This happened to be a known issue which was fixed. Still didn't receive a response to this email. On May 6th, they put out an update on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram regarding the Demon Slayer bundle. It stated the bundle would be shipped out that week. I tried to reach out to them directly on Twitter twice, once on May 3rd and again on May 16th with no response. I also reached out to them on Instagram on May 4th and May 16th and got automated responses about them migrating to a new website, which this person included photos of. Fast forward to June, I asked them directly on Twitter about it and all they said was support@funkobros.com. To this day, I have not received my last order from them. These are the small businesses that make other small businesses look bad. I prefer to shop small business, and that's why I gave the Funko Bros a chance. As of right now, I cannot in good conscience recommend this company to anyone. They should be shut down in my opinion. I have attached some screenshots. Have a great day.
Whoa, well, that's so terrible.
It is really
That's really terrible. And so when Funko began and they were doing Wacky Wobblers, they were showing up in small, comic book shops and Spencer's and all these different places. And then eventually, the Funko fire caught on with Funko Pops and things. And so you did have small businesses blowing up, especially, I would say, the mid-2010s.
Yes.
So like you're popping off toys and you're $7 a pop. And this is back when we first got started with Gastlecast, with this channel. All these places started to spark up in about 2018. It was like, there were tons of places.
Yes.
And they were all selling and they were all doing. And it was really, really great. And they were making money and it was all fun and everything. It was fun and games. And then, of course, after the pandemic, it just goes downhill, completely goes downhill. In the midst of all this, you have all these little businesses like Funko Bros starting up and trying to do their thing. This person heard about them in 2023. Sounds like they're probably relatively pretty new. And they got into it probably at a very wrong time when Funko decided to completely crash. It sounds to me that they're not business people. They don't understand how to deal with their customer base. They don't know how to handle their inventory. They probably don't know how to handle possibly the money.
Which is weird because this is off top. I mean, it's on topic, but it's not something that I shared because, again, there was so much to share. He had mentioned that he had done retail for 30 plus years. The guy that runs Funko Bros. So
if he's been doing retail for 30 plus years, this would mean that he's an older person.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he didn't start retail at 10 years old. Yeah. I would suggest that they're like 50 years old.
maybe slightly younger or
something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there.
they got to be older. This is something I expect from a younger person. And by the way, going on attacks and having your little cronies go and start attacking people. There was a YouTube channel that did that years ago to us, and a Funko YouTube channel. I'm not naming names or anything, but when you send your little cronies out, that's so crappy. Like, what are we doing? How old are we?
Yeah, the fact that one of the tweets said that they were literally trying to have a contest between each other over who could, like, get banned by one of the guys was ridiculous. It's one thing if people choose to defend who they believe in, but it's a completely different thing to have a contest on who can get blocked or banned by this person. Like, that's crazy.
Well, if that's their their friend base or their fan base or like their close-knit fan base, if that's who it's built on, like that's who it's built around, their business isn't going to go anywhere.
No,
because you can't have people who are like that, right? So I feel like you got to surround yourself with good people. You got to have good customer skills. You got to know how to manage your money. All those things would allow you to grow and operate a successful and great business.
Yes.
And these people, the Funko Bros, allegedly don't know how to do that. It's obvious. There's proof in it now. We've seen so much of on the Twitter and on the emails. People are saying, shut them down. They need to go away. I have never personally dealt with them, but I would never deal with them knowing everything that I know now.
Well, I don't think you can deal with them anymore.
Are they gone?
The owner of Funko Bros posted his entire inventory on Facebook Marketplace and Mercari.
Oh my God, for real?
Yeah.
Oh my God?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
So I think they're done for.
Sounds like they're over. What are we even making a video about? I guess this video is about no matter what you're buying, make sure it's a trusted source. And one that has good reviews to it, right? Yeah. And I like word by mouth. So if you're talking to a friend and they're like, hey man, I ordered from $7 a pop, they're really great, right? Because we know $7 a pop's awesome. We love $7 a pop. We love $7 a pop, you should go and buy from them. Then, you know, it all kind of it all ends well, usually.
Yeah.
In a situation like this, you're just traveling around on the internet and you find
Twitter.
the Funko Bros and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to buy from these guys. This is great, but you don't know a thing about them. It doesn't end well.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it doesn't end well. I'm not saying all the time. I'm not saying that, but just make sure that you're buying from a trusted source. First off, second off, scream your little head off if stuff like this happens. Do not listen to these people. You need to get your money back. You are due your money, and that's why we're making this video, really, is that people, you can't just give your money out and then just completely lose your money. You got to do stuff. You got to go to your PayPals, right? You got to do all the things, all the due diligence in order to try to get that money back, although sometimes you can't. But you got to go and do stuff, and I also think you don't have to go and slam them and be like, oh, they're ugly and stupid. But if you go out and say, look, I bought all this stuff, they never sent it to me. This is a real issue. No one should buy from them unless they start to resolve their issues, right?
Yeah.
That is fair to say that.
That's absolutely fair, especially if you've emailed them multiple times with no response, DM'd them multiple times with no response.
But you better not go on Twitter, tag them, and mention anything, because that's not the way to go.
No, that's not the customer service.
But that's Funko Bros. Hopefully they didn't do you dirty. I know they didn't do us dirty. They never got to us. Thank God for that.
To anybody who has legitimately been screwed by the Funko Bros, who has an order with them that has not been fulfilled, I would highly recommend you going to your bank or your PayPal or however you paid and trying to get your money back. Now, like Chris said, you can't always do that. However, if you can prove that it was a pre-order and it was slated for a certain date and you haven't received it, your bank might be able to help you. That's what happened with us. It took a lot of fighting with our bank. I would say like 6 months or more.
Yeah, that's a long time.
But we ended up getting our money back, the full amount, and I just highly recommend that you reach out to your bank.
In every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons of Patreon. In this video, we'd like to shout out to Dr. Applesauce, Brandon Keith Villa, Brandon Staton, David Chung, Nick Fillet, Elizabeth Orazan Wednesday, Tyler Vest, Dead Paul, Tasha White Barnes, and Greg Malley. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys are awesome. And if you want to support our Patreon, check out patreon.com/Gastlecast. We do this Google Meet call once a month where we hang out, we do giveaways, we show you upcoming Mischief Toys items, and much, much more. This particular call in September, we will be showing you a brand new figure from Mischief Toys. It'll be our New York Comic Con exclusive for day one. Remember, we have a day 1, 2, 3, and 4 exclusive figure this year. We're bringing a figure every single day during the con. We're going to be showing you the very first one, and we're going to be giving one away. So check out patreon.com/Gastlecast. Also, hit the like button, subscribe button, and the little bell. That way you'll know anytime we go live or post brand new content. You don't want to miss our new content. We have a blast here, and come and hang out with us every Sunday between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. In this past Sunday's live, we talked to Christian from PPG. It was a really great live. If you missed it, go back and watch it now. I think it was full of a lot of great information. Thank you guys so much for staying for the entire video. We appreciate you. Thank you for seeing our beautiful faces at the end. I know that's what you've been waiting for, seeing our beautiful faces once again after that long list of names. Well, aren't the patrons lovely? Every time I see that list, it always just brightens up my day because they're just so awesome, and I can't tell you how great it makes me feel to know that we have people supporting us like this. You guys are supporting us and this channel, and we really appreciate it. We will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.